That's the new intro.
Yeah. Wow. Wow, wow. I'm too sexy for
Hola.
Too sexy for your pod. Too sexy for
Rank.
Too sexy for this
Rap.
Too sexy for that. Yeah, yeah. I'm too sexy for this. Too sexy for your pod. Too sexy for this pod. Yeah, yeah. I'm too sexy for that.
Episode 4. Yeah.
Too easy.
Is this thing expired?
So we're back, episode 4, new week, fresh stuff. We just wrapped up week 2 of the NFL. Some exciting stuff going on here. We had some interesting games. Nothing really close at all, to be honest, for the most part this week. But some interesting enough games. The actual games are good.
Oh god, yeah. The Ravens Chiefs game. Ooh.
That was a doozy. I'll tell you what, that was a doozy. What a gutsy call to go for it, and it worked out. And that's football, man. That's football, I think.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So let's talk a little bit about the matchups. I think this week we're going to go to the matchups. We're going to do look ahead to next week a little bit, and we'll do some basic like free agent start sit stuff. Anything else?
And then wrap it up. Keep
Cool.
it short and quick, just like we always do.
Just like we always do, nice and trim. You know, maybe we'll keep it under 32 minutes this week. Who knows? All right. Anywho, so we'll start off with my matchup with Mike.
Of course you will.
I have it up right now, so I figured, might as well go ahead and do that. So that being said, I was the highest scorer on the week.
Oh, look at that.
Yes, absolutely.
Aaron Jones gave you half those points. Congrats.
Oh, no, it wasn't just Aaron Jones. Kyler Murray had the same amount of points as him.
Freaking ridiculous. I want to commend Mike on the goal for sitting Saquon.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, I want to commend him on that. And you know what? It didn't help, but it was a ton of gall that you had.
Yeah, it didn't really do much in terms of like he would have scored more points if he played him, but
by like a point.
Yeah, but I like it because I get too much of like a start your starters thing,
Oh yeah, exactly. The gumption to do that.
The gumption, and it's only week 2 too. Like the fact that he went ahead and did that only in week 2, I think is wild.
Impressive.
It is, but anyways, I beat him. Who gives a shit?
Yep, exactly. Fucking trash ass team. On to the next one.
Fucking dumbass. Absolutely wiped the floor with him. This is why he was projected to be in last place, dummy.
Hi, honey.
Let's move over to your matchup with ZP Where's My Money, who's the second highest scorer this week.
Yeah, congrats, Em. I traded her late in the week or early in the week, however you want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Week. Tyler Lockett and Tyson Williams for Justin Jefferson and Trey Sermon, and as of right now, she's winning the deal.
Yeah, especially with Trey Sermon not having some positive injury news.
Yeah, concussion protocol. That's a rough hit.
Yeah,
don't know what I want to do with him right now, but
not what I was looking for. Yeah, not ideal. However, the matchup player of the week was in fact Tyler Lockett, so the person that you traded to her was the best player.
I don't think it would have mattered regardless if I kept Lockett or not, but it's still not a good look.
I mean, if you kept Lockett, let's see,
been closer.
It would have been a lot. I mean, you would have straight up, if nothing else changed, you would have had 13 more points, and she would have had 13 less points. So exactly. That's a 26-point swing, which is almost the difference, considering that only leaves a 5-point differential. And then you got to talk about like the fact that you didn't play Sermon, but she played Tyson, and then like who would have she played in place of that? I mean,
most likely James White.
So probably still would have won.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. In the long run, didn't really matter. Also, sidebar, M, you can either drop Gus Edwards or put him on the IR. Totally up to you.
You should definitely just drop him because he is out for the whole season. But if you really feel like you want to, keep him, then definitely put him on the IR.
Which won't make sense because he's not going to go that high next year in drafts.
Right. Yeah, 100% agree. She also earned
Yep.
an A+ weekly grade from Yahoo, just like myself. And you earned a B, but that was better than Mike's C.
Hey, I'll take a B. On to the next one.
Oh, and by the way, so I picked Mike to beat me, and you picked Mike to beat me, so that was incorrect.
Oh, I forgot we did that.
Yeah, I just remembered that myself. But yes, you picked Mike to beat me, and I picked Mike to beat me, so that is wrong.
And I picked me to beat M, and that was wrong.
And I picked you to beat M, so that was wrong.
And that was wrong.
And that was wrong. So not so hot so far. However, in this matchup, Chunk and the Snake Bags, who's 2-0,
Yep.
and
Wow. Hey, who would have thunk that the Snake would be 2-0? I did.
well, he scored significantly less points this week. He was under his projected
Just
total.
like he should.
But unfortunately for Haley, unfortunately for him, she also sunk significantly below her projections and had a bit of a rough week, mostly from the fact that just not a lot of people popped off. You know, like there's a lot of good action from her team. Like Mahomes had a pretty good game. Like Dalvin Cook was fine. You know, hopefully he's healthy going forward. But like, you know, DeAndre Swift was their fourth highest score, and he had 9.8 points. So it's like,
I was gonna say once again the gall on sitting the draft capital of Julio Jones, week number 2. Commend
you
it.
know what? I like it a lot. I wasn't in love with Julio week 1. I mentioned that.
Nope.
Honestly, I mentioned that.
Didn't look good.
But and again, that really wouldn't have made a difference. You know,
it would have made a difference, right?
She wouldn't have won if she played him.
That's a 12.6 point swing. That's instead of Claypool. That puts her right in it.
That's tough though. Well, I mean, who's her flex?
Flex is Higgins. I think. Yeah, I don't know if Claypool or Higgins was the one she switched out for. I guess, but that's a tough one. Julio should have had another touchdown too. I don't know if you saw that, the toe to heel tap. Did you see that touchdown?
Yeah.
That was callback. Ridiculous. Anywho.
But it was gonna be tough ways. Like Marcus's lineup was pretty solid again, and pretty much
Snake's back at it.
Yeah, I mean, like he didn't really score a ton of points, to be honest. Like he would have lost to.
Well, no, and that's what the Snake does. The Snake, he's a fake winner.
Yeah, well, he only
low points and barely ekes out the wins. And poisons people with his venom. I'm so poisoned from last week. I'm drinking the vaccine or whatever you want to call it now, the anti-venom.
Vaccine. But yeah, I mean, so tough. You know, he got a little lucky there, but B- was the ranking for him. And you were correct. You did pick Marcus. No, I picked Marcus. You picked Haley. So I'll take one there. Sorry, Hale. Okay, so you got none so far. Let's move on to Eat a Raw Egg versus Zach's team. You had picked Eat a Raw Egg, and I also picked Eat a Raw Egg after listening to your dummy take, and I shouldn't have done that. But
damn.
Presley got a D+ rating. Eat a Raw Egg got a D+ rating this week, which is the lowest rating so far. Zach's team got an A. He's 2-0, pretty well deserved, to be honest. Presley's team, again, just like significantly underperformed. So compared to like what she was expected to do, like Herbert had a much quieter game than expected, which obviously impacted.
Yeah, that game was really odd, but so did Prescott. I mean,
yeah, no, that game was very strange. Yeah. And of course, like Cooper Kupp just putting the absolute hurt. You know, that's tough.
Yeah, fucking hell. I wanted Cooper Kupp so bad in the draft, and he went 2 picks before me.
Yeah.
Livid.
I mean, it was that I probably would have taken him, like, if it was me before.
Yeah, it was Estrella grabbed him, of course, a couple picks before, and then I got Bobby Trees. Second half of the season player right there. Second half of the season. Just you wait.
It's what's interesting about Presley's teams too is that so her wide receivers there that she started, the 3 that she started, they actually were targeted 25 times, which is a really high combination mix. Obviously, if you're unfamiliar, like getting 8 targets a game for a wide receiver is pretty high. and usually something you see from like your wide receiver ones. So she had 3 players average over 8 targets this week, and they only actually ended up with 15 catches, which is not ideal, obviously.
Wait, who was the third player? Was it Pitts?
No, it's Keenan Allen. Who else did she start?
Metcalf. And then in her flex, she had Hunt.
Oh, yes. It must have been 1 wide receiver and 1 tight end.
Yeah,
2 wide receivers, 1 tight end.
Yeah, it must have been Pitts.
Yeah. So between the 3 of those, they were targeted 25 times, which is pretty high. So like if she, I mean, it has nothing to do with her, but it's just kind of like she's starting the right people. It's just kind of an unfortunate circumstance.
Well, yeah, if that keeps coming, the points will come. Right?
The points will come.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah. But she was the lowest scorer this week. And since I was the highest scorer, I do have
Congrats.
Thank you again. I do have a punishment. So I'm going to propose this on the pod here because I know that Prez watches. Thank you. And so my punishment is to pants Andrew once in the next week, and I must see it on film.
You or the whole group?
I mean, ideally you'd share it with everybody, right? But like I myself.
Okay, of course.
Yes, on the film. So that is it. I would like it to be in public. I'm not requesting it to be in public. I just want it to be one good-natured pantsing video. But he needs to be pants, and it needs to be on film. You have 1 week. Otherwise, you owe me 5 buckaroonies. But I really think you should take me up on this one.
I need to see Dong as well, or is it just down to his boxers, or are you trying to see Dong or brain?
No, I'm just asking for a pantsing. I'm not asking for the pants and the boxers. You know,
just wanted to clarify.
Also, usually when you pants somebody, you come from behind. You don't go right into the front and pull their pants down.
That's true.
So,
well, it depends on the pantsing.
Depends. I guess it does depend on the pantsing, but typically you would come from behind.
You hit him with the old switcheroo. They wouldn't see it coming. They wouldn't expect it from the front.
Oh yes. Well, there we go. So that is my my bid there, and so we both picked Prez. We were both wrong on that one. And we have our last matchup of the week, which was.
Oh wait, who did you take on that one?
I took Prez as well. Unfortunately.
Okay, that's right.
And then lastly, we have the best game of the week, technically, which was Kara versus Olox. And both of them had an A grade on the week. It actually came down to Monday night. And Olox had the lead through Sunday night. And then Kara took it back on Monday with the resurgence of Aaron Rodgers, which, like I said, top 5 quarterback this week. And he did that thing.
He finished at 5.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Kara was mostly carried by the ridiculous play of Derrick Henry, who had just
fucking hell. The fact that Olox was even close is impressive in and of itself.
Yeah, and I think his team had like an overall like really solid week. Just like not a lot of points to be made up for. I think the biggest thing is like Josh Allen could have had a better week. He only scored like 16 points, I think.
I'd say that Tyreek could too. He was very low.
True. Yeah, he didn't have a very hot.
That's not a Tyreek score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's like where the difference could have been made. But I mean, like he had a big week from like a bounce back week from Mike Evans. Like he started Mike Williams, who actually had a great week for Mike Williams, and Najee had a better week this week. So I mean, it is what it is. Kara, I don't think that she's going to be scoring this much points that often. Personally, I think her team's not bad, but she also got 18 points from the Bucs defense and then a ridiculous 45 from Derrick Henry. So
I think Derrick Henry will be scoring that much regularly, though.
Like, you think he's gonna be dropping 45 points a week?
I mean, maybe.
I don't think it'd be 45 a week, but I mean, I can definitely see him putting up over 20 a week and then having like several games where he's like eclipsing 30.
Hey, he's starting to catch passes now. It's gonna be a whole different monster.
I bet you he scores over 40 points at least once more this season.
Oh yeah, that's easy.
Yeah.
Also, our bet for Deontay, right now we're waiting on injury status.
Yeah, if he doesn't play this week, it's gonna make the end of the season a little tricky. Obviously, be a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna muddy the waters.
Yeah, if he misses one game, I still think he has a really good chance to outscore Juju. But if he misses 2 games throughout the season, it's gonna be a little tricky.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so I took Kara in this matchup, and you took Olax, which means you picked the wrong one for every single game.
Yes. All right, guys. This is my picks for the next week.
You couldn't have made a worse attempt at those picks.
All right, guys. Whatever I say this week, do the opposite.
And the best part was
for
you
me versus
yourself to win, and you didn't pick me to win, and you were wrong on both.
For this week, coming up, me versus Eat a Raw Egg. I'm picking me.
You also said that Higbee was going to be
means.
a top 5 tight end this week, and he scored 1 point. So,
what number was he on the week?
I can't imagine
that wasn't a top 5 performer.
I can't even imagine he was in the top 15.
For the tight end landscape, we don't know. It's horrendous out there.
All right, let's move on to looking forward to the matchups to next week.
I'm facing Presley, Eat a Raw Egg, Mrs. Pants herself.
Mrs. Pants herself.
Good name. I'm gonna take myself, and I'll do start sit on Presley. You want to do start sit for my team?
Yeah, 100%. So it looks like you're the favorite by points, less than one point, so 0.7 points.
Well, that says it all. That is a tough one. However, I might be leaning Galladay this week. I think he's gonna have his first good game of the season against Atlanta. This is a kind of a get right game for Giants and Daniel Jones and the whole offense as a whole, with how bad the Atlanta defense is. So I think that's a good upside flex play, is what I'm getting at there.
I don't know if I'd want to start him over Kareem Hunt, though.
Just my opinion. Maybe I'm trying to sabotage the opponent.
I'm going to disagree with you. I think she should either stick with Kareem Hunt. I wouldn't put Galladay in yet. I want to see a good game from him. If you're going to put anybody in, put Jamar Chase in.
This is going to be it. This is the good game.
The Giants look just as bad as the Falcons. Hi, honey. So I just don't really – I need to see something from them before I would do anything. That being said, we'll move on to your team here. I think
move on.
We're moving on. I don't know.
Oh, I got my lineup a secret. I set it to what I wanted, then I set it back to how I didn't want it. So it was a secret until the last second.
Yeah, I'm not in love.
But what did I do?
With Bobby Trees. I'm not in love with Robert Woods. And I'm not in love with Clyde either. So Sutton had a really good week last week. I really like him again this week. I think you should throw him in the lineup instead of Bobby Trees. I wouldn't even complain if you put Antonio Brown in, but I think he's going to have a little bit more of a difficult week. So I'd put in Sutton over Woods, and I really don't want to play Clyde, but I don't think you have a better option than him this week. Barring like a breakout from Williams, I don't really see anybody else who would be like an actual improvement there, but Clyde has just not looked well to me, and I don't really know what we're going to get out of that game, but my big move would be benching Bobby Trees.
Fair. I'll take that into consideration.
All right. So who are you picking? You picking yourself? Or you picking Preston?
Oh, I'm picking me all day. Winner's going to win.
I'm going to take Prez.
Yeah, it's fair. Whatever pick I do, you should do the opposite.
I think you're going 0-3, pal.
It's a get right week for me. This is a get right week for me.
If you're comparing yourself to the New York Football Giants, then you are in poor company.
Me and New York are getting right back on track.
We're getting right back on track. All right.
Let's go on to M and Snake.
M and Snake. Give me a second here.
About a 0.5 point differential here on the projection.
Ooh, another close projection. We like that.
Yeah, bigly. Oh, you want me to take M?
Yeah, I'll take Snake.
Well, first of all, M, once again, drop Gus Edwards right off the bat.
Yeah.
Get that shit out of here. For start sit. I would also say not necessarily I don't think you should change your lineup at all, but as far as your bench, I think you could improve upon it. Meaning that, Gus Edwards gone. You can think about you probably don't need 2 Jacksonville receivers. Call me crazy. Chanel or Jones. I like Jones better there, but that's totally up to you. I think you should move on from one of them and pick up someone else off waivers. If you want a receiver, there's Rondell Moore, Marquise Brown's out there. You can pick up Gronk instead of Logan Thomas as tight end potentially. Plenty of options on the waiver wire out there. Just a couple of my takes.
I agree pretty much all the way on that. Cool.
You want to move on to Marcus?
Yes. I don't really see much like to do for him, like in terms of making a change. Like I think the way that he has set his lineup is pretty much how I would set the lineup.
Yeah, it looks good to me as well.
The only thing I could see is like if you wanted a risky play, like you throw in Goddard over Tanyan, because I feel like they're going to have to score more points against Dallas. And I feel like the people who will be guarding Tanyan on the 49ers are better than the people who will be guarding Goddard on the Cowboys. So there's a chance that Goddard catches a TD. But that's really an iffy back and forth thing. I think you could kind of argue that either way, but that would be the only move I would make.
Now, however, I just got a question. Would you rather have Tanyan, Goddard, or Gronk?
I think Gronk right now is oddly enough the safest pick. So yeah. I don't know. I think anybody.
Right. The reason I asked is because I knew it was close, and like the fact, I think Gronk's got the better upside.
Yeah.
Where he's going to be getting the easier matchups, I think, between everybody else covering Godwin, Brown, and Godwin, Brown, and Evans, where Gronk gets the easier matchups typically.
Yeah, I also think that like when it straight up comes down to it, like Tampa Bay is a good team, so like getting more shares of them, just like we feel like about the Chiefs, is always good. But like with Gronk,
exactly.
I mean, if you don't have Kelsey, Waller, Hawkinson, maybe Fant, Kittle, then you should probably be looking at picking up Gronk.
Andrews too. I'll throw Andrews in that.
Oh yeah, Andrews too.
I wouldn't even throw Fant in there. Yeah, I like Gronk more than Fant, but I just asked that as a question because I really like him for every other team that doesn't have one of those top end guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So who are you picking?
Well, I also want to mention I don't think he needs to roster Callaway anymore either. I mean, there's other, like I said for M's team, I think there's other options on the waiver wire that are better than Callaway that he could be taking.
Yeah, if we're talking about receivers, like Marquise Brown is still on the wire, just had a good week. I think that's very well worth a pickup.
That's what I'm saying.
Michael Pittman, Rondell Moore, like all those guys, I think worth being rostered over Callaway for sure. I think.
Even Will Fuller's on the waiver wire. Not that he's going to be good, especially if they got Brissett playing, but he could be good if Tua's playing.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick him up if we've seen anything.
Henry Ruggs had a good week.
All right, who you got?
Who do I got? Let's keep this train rolling with the snake. I think the snake pulls out another victory.
See,
I was the year hot and crumble just like he did last year.
I was thinking Marcus. I was thinking him for sure, but I'm looking at who's going to have a big game. I can see DeAndre Hopkins having a big game. I can see Miles Sanders having a decent game, but I think I'm just gonna risk it and go with M, just to oppose you.
No, I feel that. Yeah, going for upside there, and it's rightfully so.
Yeah, I feel like if she also snags Gronk and starts him over Logan Thomas, I think she could win this week.
Yeah. Now, is the pod gonna get out by that time? Probably not, but you can still pick them up later.
I guess I pick them up later.
Next matchup I'm looking at right now is yours and Kara's. And that looks like it's going to be a blowout at the moment. Oh, my.
I don't think it'll end up being a blowout for sure.
I don't either. The projections are always off, but.
Well, you do me, I'll do
you, I suppose, and you take Kara.
Yeah. Do me, I'll do.
Let's take. So right now I am liking the lineup unless Darrell Henderson is out for the week. Then you got to throw someone else in there.
Right.
Of course.
Yeah.
As far as who you throw in there, I don't know who you would be thinking, but if Tua's not in, I don't want to throw Waddle in.
Yeah, if Tua's playing, it's going to be Waddle. If it's not Tua, I'm going to put Boyd in.
Okay, yeah. So Boyd's decent flex option. As far as Gallup, do you know how long he's out for?
They said like up to 6 weeks, the most.
Like, I don't. If I were you, I think I would probably drop Gallup or Judy. I'd probably drop Gallup for somebody else, but obviously it's a team dependent decision.
Yeah, I'm just gonna I have a lot of guys I can drop. So like,
no, I know, but the reason I was saying that is like that way you can get somebody who might break out in the meantime before they do. That way you don't have to pay up for them.
yeah, that's what I mean is like I have a lot of guys I can drop, and so I'm kind of just like playing around with every week like what I can do until I decide like how valuable Dallas's offense is. So basically, I'm looking at like,
yeah,
how sustainable would it be that Dallas could have like 2 running backs and 3 wide receivers, right? And then if I decide that that's not going to be the case, I just drop Gallup and then move on to like whatever else I find. Or if I feel like he's worth it, then I'll hold on to him. But I still have other guys on the roster I can drop, like Ty Johnson. I could drop AJ Dillon if I really wanted to. I also can drop Hamler if I wanted to. So
yeah. I just don't like having injured
I hate
people
it.
if I don't need them. I guess yeah. It's like if I can afford to lose them, and even if someone else grabs them, like I would feel okay with dropping Gallup, even if someone else grabs them, because like you're not able to do anything with them for 6 weeks or so. But yeah, that's all there. All I got there. Rest of the lineup's looking good though.
Thanks, pal. So
you're welcome.
When I'm looking at Kara's team here, I don't really get the choice to bench DJ Moore last week. I like the idea that she wanted to put in Corey Davis. But she kind of did that by also keeping.
Oh God, that was such a bad. I don't mean. All right, this is mean, but like, I think that was a very bad decision. Just because like we know what the Patriots defense does to rookie quarterbacks historically, and it was one good week from Corey Davis. And I know it was one good week from DJ Moore, but just the matchup was better on the week.
We also both agreed last week that Corey Davis was a decent play. Like
going full,
yeah,
in general. But as far as like up against the Patriots, I had him in another week, and I did not have the gall to start him.
Yeah, I definitely think keeping DJ Moore in the lineup, even if we had recommended putting Corey Davis in the lineup, it would not have been at the expense of DJ Moore. That being said,
no, God, no, it would have been at the expense of like Chase Edmonds or somebody like in their flex.
That being said, she should definitely start DJ Moore this week. Good Lord.
Yes.
What is wrong with you?
It seems like Sam Darnold loves him.
Yeah,
why absolutely hates Robbie Anderson.
Well, didn't he already play with Robbie Anderson?
Yeah, he already played with that one. He doesn't like him.
Yeah. I don't want to play with you anymore. But that would be my recommendation.
He wasn't a bad kid, all right? He didn't know there were toys.
And start DJ Moore. That would be it. That'd be my biggest recommendation. But yeah, obviously I'm facing her, so I don't have too much to say.
Yeah. Maybe throwing Landry in the IR spot and picking up another player.
Definitely put Landry in the IR if he's going to stay there. And if you got the bench spot open, you're always welcome to grab somebody else. That's going to be smart.
Always welcome.
I'm going to take myself. Who do you want?
I'm going to go you.
Let's go. All right.
You're going to lose now. It's predicted. We got Zach and Mike.
Kind of close projections.
Yeah.
But Zach's team, first place team right there. Got a tough team. Who you want?
Hold on. He's got a good lineup. I'll take Zach and just start off real easy here. Once again, Raheem Mostert. Can him. Yeah, you can drop and pick up someone else, of course. I'd drop Everett as well. Zach Moss, I'd also drop. Just quite a few drop candidates off the bench. Other than that, the starting lineup is amazing.
Yeah, starting lineup.
I wouldn't start anybody else over his starting lineup. No, I think it's perfect.
Perfect. You heard it here first.
Hold on. No. Timeout. I would start Matt Stafford
instead of Prescott.
Yep.
I don't know if I'd do that.
I'd do it. I'm telling you.
I mean, like Tampa Bay's got one of the best defenses in the league. And Cowboys definitely don't. And
I'm just telling you what I would do.
All right. Well, I think that's dumb.
That's okay.
I disagree. I think I would start Dak this week.
Well, I'm glad we have different opinions. I take Stafford.
You want to bet on it?
Gonna have a big week. Oh, I'll bet on it. I was
All
waiting
right.
for it.
So you want to just go straight up? Who's going to do better?
Yeah, straight up, who's gonna do better? Who's gonna finish higher on the week?
All right. Dak scores more than Stafford. That's the bet for the week. What do you say? One can? Liquid death wager?
One can.
Okay. Did we wager on our picks last week? We bet a can of something on it last week.
Yeah, I think it was a can on whoever got the most picks right. So I owe you one can right now.
One can for Lukey boy. Let's see. As far as Mike's team goes, Brandon Cooks has definitely surprised me. I'm not going to lie. Definitely surprised me.
Me as well.
I like the idea of putting Barkley back in the lineup this week. If Elijah Mitchell plays, I think you got to leave him in the lineup right now. But I could definitely see him not getting a lot of work against a tricky Green Bay matchup. Gun to my head, I'm leaving him in the lineup. But I don't know. I could definitely see like a few guys having a good game on his bench. I mean, Josh Jacobs has to have some value at some point, but I don't know.
The question though, if Deontay Johnson's out, would you start Smith-Schuster over Elijah Mitchell?
Yes.
Okay. So
definitely.
That's what I was thinking too. But if Deontay's in, I wouldn't.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, it looks fine. I mean, no complaints.
Yep.
Who you picking?
I'm gonna take Estrella. Going chalk.
I'm inclined to take Estrella as well. Yeah, it's just his team's good, man. Like if I could see, like I could see them obviously not like popping off and stuff like that, but there's still just a lot of like decent like guys on there who are just gonna put up some points no matter what. And then we have our last game, which is Haley versus Olak. I will make suggestions for Olak.
All right, that means I'm taking Haley. Let's see what we're working with here.
Let me see what you're working with.
Well, she got Julio Jones back in the lineup. I like that. I'm liking the decision so far. Maybe the only thing I would change if Deontay's out, starting Claypool over Higgins. And other than that, I'm not upset with anything here. I like the bench players, I like the depth. Sorry, I can't contribute more here, Hills, but I like the depth on your team.
I do. I like her depth too. I feel like it just makes it hard to pick who to play every week, so. That's tough.
Well, I don't know. Right now, I think it's just between Higgins and Claypool, personally. For this particular week.
Pretty much.
Until like Michael Carter starts coming on a little stronger,
It's also tough for her to start like two Titans wide receivers like every week, because it's just like
I think that's a good trade. Like just looking for somebody who's a little wide receiver needy. And getting them Julio Jones or AJ Brown, whatever one they like more, probably,
Well, you got to go Julio now, and you got to trade him away unless you're getting a real big return back. But
you got to get, you're not going to get the same return for Julio or AJ Brown. You're going to get more for AJ Brown, but it's just dependent on who wants a receiver and for how much.
Yeah.
And who they're willing to offer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I'm looking at Olak's team, this guy's 0-2. Worst last place.
Oof.
There's a lot to like. There's a lot to like make me confused about. For example, his running back situation. Like he's electing to start Damian Harris. I don't hate it because Damian Harris looked so good last week. Especially that one run in particular was nuts. So I do like that. I mean, I'm not opposed to Melvin Gordon or James Robinson. I just know one of those three guys are going to have a good game, and whatever one I pick to play is not going to have a good game. So I feel like I really can't even comment on that. If I felt like somebody was going to have a good game, I feel like Melvin Gordon against the Jets, something tells me that he might have something going on, but I think it's going to be pretty split in the backfield there. So I don't know. I'm not going to say I'd make a different decision. I think I might stick with it. I'm not 100% sure, but it might. And then I also think there's
classic ride the high hand approach.
If you're going to be really ballsy, then this might be a week that Josh Allen doesn't have a very good week. I mean, Tannehill against the Colts, I think is a money matchup, to be honest. I think that Like, if I had to make a bold claim, it's that Tannehill outscores Josh Allen this week. Would I legitimately play Tannehill over Josh Allen? No, but I can see that happening.
Well, I don't know. More thing about Alex's team, I'd probably drop Philip Lindsay personally.
You probably
if you want to keep one of those Houston backs, I'd keep Mark Ingram. He's got the bulk of the carries for the past 2 weeks. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Jonnu Smith, once again, like I'd much rather have Gronk on my team than Jonnu Smith if you want a different tight end.
Yeah.
On this matchup, I'm gonna have to go Haley again.
I'm gonna agree. I think I like her team, and I think that she's gonna improve to 2-1.
Yeah.
That is all of our picks. That's the wrap up from last week. We talked a little bit about free agents who are available. We did some start sit stuff. I mean, beyond that, we doled out a punishment. What else can you ask for?
Yeah. This was the perfect pod.
That's it. Episode 4, week 3 of the NFL.
In the books.
Unfinished.